Welcome to the first video on the series, The Nervous System, where we'll cover topics starting from the very basics, such as the neuron, to more complex topics such as neuroanatomy. Today, in this video, we're covering all the basics surrounding the neuron, such as the structure and functions. As you can see here, this is a neuron. Oh, what do you think it looks like? A starfish with weird hands? Or maybe a really odd pizza cutter? I see it! The spiky structure, Well, no, this neuron has a lot of functions, and all of them are really important for us. First, they receive stimulus from other neurons or the environment. Now, those same spiky structures are the ones that connect to other neurons and take signals. How useful! That connects them to more than one neuron. Second, they conduct electric signals along their length. Do you see the arm of the starfish? Yeah, that thin rod-like structure that's pretty long, that's called the axon, and it helps the signal travel through the neuron before it goes to another neuron. Now, to clarify, the bottom of the neuron, or the fingers of the starfish, connect to other neurons, and they pass along the signal received by the spiky structures called the dendrites. So one part takes it, and the other pushes it out. Third, there's chemicals called neurotransmitters released at the very end of the fingers of the starfish, basically its fingertips. Well, this is really unusual, right? Like, it was already traveling as an electric impulse. So why bother turning into a chemical? Well, let me take a simple example. How do you think electricity travels to your laptop? Through a cord, of course. So similarly, neurons need some sort of connection to send through electric signals, and that they don't have. So to mitigate that issue, they have chemicals that can move without any specific connection. Now, you might ask, why aren't neurons connected to one another? Well, then the signal would trigger a massive, uncontrollable chain of reaction across the whole brain. These gaps help the neurons amplify or stop signals as per need. They coordinate body responses. How would you react if you pricked your finger on a thorny rose bush? You'd pull your arm away. Then, how would you react upon touching a hot surface? Again, you pull your hand away. How do your eyes react to intense light? The pupils shrink. What are all these? These are reflex reactions, all coordinated and done by our nervous system. Moving on, let's study the parts of a neuron. The first part I'll focus on is the dendrites. As I said earlier in the video, they receive signals. That's about it. Though the role is tiny, it's really important. The cell body conducts all metabolic processes needed by the cell, such as generating energy. The axon hillock is where the neuron decides whether or not to convert the electrical signal into action potential. Basically, to move it further on, the myelin sheath is like clothes, but with holes in them. They protect the signal, but if the signal stays in the sheath too long, it dies out without the ions. So we have the nodes of Ranvier, then help the signal recharge with ions, and whoa, it really increases their speed. The synaptic ends connect to other neurons and send the signal away. There's 3 major types of neurons, divided by their functions. Sensory neurons transmit information from our receptors. Now, what are receptors? Well, they're basically just your 5 senses. Touch, thermoreceptors present on your skin. Hearing, phonoreceptors present in your ears. Taste, gustatory receptors present on your tongue. Sight, photoreceptors present in your eyes. Smell, olfactory receptors present in your nose. Oh, fun fact, 80% of taste is felt by your nose and 20% is felt by your tongue. Moving on to motory neurons. They help you move and conduct involuntary and voluntary actions. So, if there's an asteroid falling on you, you'll run. That's, again, a reflex action where your motory neurons are involved. Same for when a dog is chasing you. And same for when you're exercising with a follow-along video. Your brain processes the movement and muscles move. Finally, what connects both the motory and sensory neurons? Relay neurons. Usually in a reflex action, your brain isn't involved because just imagine how long it would take for a person to analyze whether or not they should move. They just do. And who conducts this action? The spinal cord. So, when the brain isn't involved, which means there's no thinking, how do you connect the sensory neurons to the muscles? Relay neurons help bypass the brain and quickly act. Take an example. You see a dog chasing you and you immediately start running. Do you pause to wonder, what if someone sees me running? Would it be embarrassing? Or maybe that dog isn't coming towards me. Finally, moving on to synapses. The connection between two neurons. Like I mentioned earlier, neurons connect with each other through synaptic ends and dendrites. So as you can see in the image, the two neurons are connected. Now, focusing on to what actually happens, the electrical signal is converted into a chemical signal and then electrical again, for it's much quicker. What helps in that? Neurotransmitters. These chemicals travel from one synaptic end to another dendrite.